Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be bringing you a postcard mixed media tutorial. So what I've already done off camera, and I did have some camera filming problems with this video where it did cut out a couple of times, so I ran out of storage. But I had stamped some, I'd used a stamp that was shaped like a postcard, like a sort of vintage postcard. You can buy them in Hobbycraft as wooden stamps, but I had bought this stamp as a rubber stamp from the range. So if you just look around, you can find them. You could use them for sort of invitations and things like that. So I cut the mixed media paper to size, and I decided to do two sizes of paper, or two different types of paper, to sandwich them together. So I'd use some white scrapbooking cardstock to stamp the postcard, which would be go on the back of these cards that I'm making now. So to create the designs on these cards, I started by using Lindy's Flat Fabios sprays, and all of these sprays come from the collection Under the Boardwalk. So what you can see on the other side, I've used Pop Rock Purple, Strawberry Lemonade, I think it's Strawberry Lemonade, and the blue one, which was called Tilt a Wheel Teal, on that very first card. On the second one, I've used the Strawberry Lemonade again, and also the I can't remember what that orange one's called, Creamsicle or something, like Orange Creamsicle I think it's called. And then the green that I've used on this most recent card is called Merry-Go-Round Green. They're just really gorgeous pastel shades, and I did have a little practice before I did this video of kind of looking at what colours blended really nicely together, and I just sprayed them. I did pump the spray quite heavily, because the faster you pump the spray, the smoother the spray comes out. If you just pump slowly or just once, what you'll get is more of a splatter rather than a spray. So you can get a couple of different effects with these Flat Fabios. So really impressed with the colours. Again, gorgeous. So these are going to form my background. What I do off camera in a second is just to dry them with my heat tool, and as I was drying them, I just tried to flatten the page out, which I did manage to do quite well actually. And then here I'm using Tim Holtz Distress spray, and this is in Picket Fence, and it's just a white colour. And I'm just adding lots of white splatters over the top here. And yeah, this is a really good spray for splattering. I personally find the sprays themselves from Tim Holtz get really clogged, so I don't know if anyone has any tips for how to clean them out, but yeah, I can't spray with this white spray at all. And I think I've got a gold one that's by Tim Holtz as well, and I can't spray with that one either, but they're great for splattering. So I would just bear that in mind if you're going to purchase any. You might not have clogging, but I do. And I'm going to use this Funny Bones stamp, which is such a cool stamp. It says, I can't remember the exact wording, but it's something like, well, let's see if I stamp it, you might be able to see it. It says a really funny phrase about autocorrect. Autocorrect always makes me post something I didn't Nintendo, or something like that. And I'm using these archival inks because I was planning on continuing with some mixed media over the top of this. So it says, stupid autocorrect, you always end up posting something you didn't Nintendo. Something you didn't Nintendo, that's it. So as I was going to be sending these as little cards to a few of my friends, I thought that would be funny. You can of course use a more sensible phrase or something inspiring. Yeah, I don't tend to go down the inspiring route, it would appear. I go down the immature route. So I'm also going to use this violet colour on this card, and so I've made them all slightly different. And then the final one is going to have a fuchsia colour. Again, I'm using these archival inks because they are permanent inks, so I can carry on adding more mixed media over the top without worrying about these running at all. So just preparing the stamp and then squishing it down. I was really pleased with how these came out, because I honestly thought that, hello Olive, that it was going to go really badly wrong. But thankfully it did not. Sorry, that was the cat Don't know if you could hear her meowing, but and what I'm going to do now is add some texture paste with a stencil. These stencils came from the range. There were 5 stencils in a pack and they were £1. There are lots of different ones as well. I think I bought 2 packs of these, but I can only find one of them, which is concerning. So I'm going to use this crisscross pattern here. And then I'm just going to literally take a palette knife and use the Ranger texture paste, and it's just an opaque white texture paste. And then I'm going to smush it down through the stencil, and I put it on every corner of these cards in a kind of slanted fashion. And what I then did, which is not going to appear on this video, is I used some Lindy's Magicals and then watered them down with just water and a spray bottle, and I just painted slightly around the edges of that texture paste just to give it a little bit more interest, and I tried to use colours similar to the ones that were in that particular corner. So if there was more pink in the corner, I used a pink magical. If there was more green, I used a green magical, and so on. And I used a combination of Caribbean Cruise magicals and the Diva magicals as well. But the camera cut out, unfortunately, during that part. So here you go. You can see the effect that it's given over the top of that. And then here are the stamped cards. So you can find any kind of postcard stamp. This one's a bit vintagey looking, but I used teal because I wanted it to look more modern. But you could obviously, if you like the vintage look, you could use brown inks, for example. And then I'm just going to use double-sided sticky tape, loads of it, and I'm going to sandwich these 2 halves together. And that's going to be the end, basically. That is my postcard that I can send in the post to a friend with a small note in it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, or if you want to see any more tutorials like this. I've got a few more ideas of things that I could do, engaging with a bit more mixed media. Please like this video if you did enjoy it, subscribe to my channel and press the bell notifications so you know when I upload. I'm uploading once a week at least. I'm trying to get to 2 uploads a week, but I really want to make sure I'm being consistent. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye bye.